Hey, you guys, it's Anne Marie. Happy Sage of the Soul Sunday. Do you hear the rain? Yay. I don't know. For some reason, I'm really into the rain this year. I'm loving it. Anywho. I hope everybody's having an amazing weekend, that you're safe and healthy and happy. Why don't we pull some cards and get some messages of clarity for those of you who would like it. Ascended angels, was it gods, goddesses, angels, take what resonates, leave the rest. Hi, Mr. B, are you back? Hey, you could come in here and hang out. I know. Now that I know, I said this in my last video, now that I know what humans look like to bees, I just can't stop, I can't unsee it. Okay, wow. Oh, great. Number 27, which would be 9, and number 2, open your heart to love. Vulnerability, forgiveness, allowing, community, absent, resentment, stubbornness, independent. Number 2, divine self, orange, intuition, balance, connection, spirit, indecisive, uneven, scattered, ego. So it's like you're kind of divided. Fighting between, or I should say fighting, but being indecisive and scattered about allowing yourself to open your heart back up. Spirit is saying that some of you have been very stubborn in your independence. And I mentioned this yesterday. I was out in the woods where sometimes we can be what's called intra-dependent, where we're too independent. Yes, you had no choice, because no one was going to do those things for you. You had to be your own hero, and you've done an amazing job. You've healed that. Spirit is saying that along with you having the ability and forgiving a lot of the people that have harmed you, you've done an amazing job. Spirit wants to say, Spirit's like, slow down and let them know how amazing and how proud Spirit is of you for the lengths that you went to forgive others who have done some pretty horrible things to you. Now it's time to forgive yourself and be vulnerable with the right peoples and open your heart up. Right peoples. The right people. To start to open your heart up. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but it could be. It's the connections and starting to, and it actually reminds me of the other video I did when I was talking about healing the trust wound, healing the wound of when you've asked people for help, those that were supposed to help you, they didn't help you, and so you said, fine, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Excuse me. And a lot of us have had to be in that position for a long time, so we've learned not to rely on other people, and nor should we, meaning we should always rely on ourselves and spirit. However, sometimes when we have done that so much that we put ourselves in this little box where we're not even open to sharing our heart and our space with others and trying to open that gate of connection is what Spirit is saying. That there needs to be, and so you may want to look at your sacral and your solar plexus chakras to balance them out a little bit more. And to get, Spirit saying, to get out of your ego. There's been so much absence of true, authentic, and honest connections in your life that part of you feels as though, even though you know it's not all like that, there's still a part of you that is stubborn in that belief that you're never going to find true connections with people who are like you, who understand you, who get you. And that's not the case at all. I'm getting ready to cough, so. Spirit is saying, so take a look at, are you open to being vulnerable? Are you even open to the idea? If you're always thinking, feeling, and believing that anybody you're open to or vulnerable to is going to hurt you or harm you or disappoint you, and remember, it's our expectations that disappoint us. People don't. People show us who they are by what they do. It's our expectations of people is what hurts us. And that's a side note, too. As long as love didn't hurt you, the people you chose in your energy who didn't know how to love you the right way hurt you. Love doesn't hurt. As a side note. So Spirit is saying to take a look at how you may have put your heart in a box because of the horrible things that have happened, right? And so we get to a place in our life like, okay, we've healed from these things, so now it's time to bring forth how we've healed, what we've learned, and to trust our intuition, to trust our own healing process that we've healed from these things. So it's not like we'll fall, I don't want to say the word fall victim or succumb to it again. Because we'll see it a mile away. When we are healed, when we've healed our abandonment wound, when we've healed the narcissistic wound, when we've had people-pleasing narcissistic relationships, or especially for someone like me, who's always had those type of people in their life, and I didn't realize till late in life that's what it was. It was such a relief. But I had to heal that huge wound, right? But when you've been someone who's had those type of energies, whether it's your family, your community, your friend group, jobs, bosses, whatever it is, and they've been very toxic and you've healed that wound, you have to kind of put yourself back out there and trust your healing. Trust that you've done the work. And because you've done the work, you'll see that shit a mile away. The first time someone tries to breadcrumb you or tries to act a certain way, then you'll know to be able to cut it off. And that's why it's important to heal those wounds, because when the good things come to us, if we're not healed, we'll automatically think they're just like the last community, or they're just like the last friend, or the last boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, or whatever it is, however this resonates for you, we'll automatically assume, oh, they're just like the rest. If we haven't healed that, when we've healed that, and we are everything that we seek, we are that ourselves, because we don't seek things outside of ourselves to fill our void. We become love for ourselves. We take ourselves out on dates. We do all the surface level stuff for ourselves. But we also have healed that wound, our inner child wound, of not being seen, not being heard, not being loved, not being enough, not good enough, whatever it is. We've healed that. And so we're putting that energy out. So it's important to really look at, are you keeping yourself closed off in a box, in your heart, in this box? Because it's a precious, precious gift to have you in somebody's life. And you're aware of that. But are you too aware and too closed off now, or you're now on the other side of the spectrum? Well, one side you were just like, hurt, 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 hurt. And you've healed and you've grown. So now you're on the other spectrum of it where you're not even open to it. You have to be open to the possibilities. You have to be open to the possibilities of connections and love and honest, and it takes a special kind of vulnerability to put yourself back out there. But trust your guidance. Trust it. Here's your magical spirit wanting you to know. You need to trust your guidance, trust your healing, trust the divine. Magical spirit. What does our magical spirit want us to know? Well, I don't want all these. Flower child. Sorry, because we're getting close to time. Momentum, creativity, action. I hope that over everyone else, you learn to make yourself proud. Right. Over everyone else. Thank you, birds. And then that's number 14, so that would be 5. I'm getting stuck on numbers again. So we have 9, 2, 5. This is 29, so it's 11. Sometimes you will break before you bloom, breaking into bloom. Time, liberation, understanding. Right. It's time for you to break out of this. It's time for you to bloom and allow your heart to be open to new experiences, new ways of living, new ways of thinking, new ways of loving. And then the last one, which is 16, which would be 7. The things that almost broke me were the things that most awoke me. What? We never pulled this one. The awakened dead. Yes, you are. Resilience, nirvana, self-appreciation. Right. Your magical spirit is telling you, you are ready to bloom. You're ready to do this. You're this flower child. There's all these flower cards in here. You're ready to bloom. You have the creativity. It's time to take action in all this. It's like this spirit is like, listen, you have the greater understanding. You have this liberation. You're blooming, and you're awakening the dead heart inside of you. It's time. They say, give peace a chance. Give love a chance again. Everything is better with love. Remember, love didn't hurt you. Your unhealed version allowed people who couldn't love themselves. You allowed that into your life. You've learned from it. You've healed. You've grown. Trust it. Trust it. It's time to open up and bloom.